Hello and welcome to the Lost and Found. Today we are going to be talking about the art of forgiveness. The reason why today we are talking about forgiveness is because a few years ago I had a very eye-opening experience which led me to a deep depression, and I thought that I would never come back from it. I thought that there was no hope and that everything I had created and done up until that point was essentially a disgrace. And I looked at myself and thought, I haven't created anything of substance. I have no purpose. I looked around me and all I could see were people who were doing better than me and people who had no idea how dark my life was and how dark it could be. And now it's been a few years out of that, and I understand firstly that most people are good people and they actually want to help and lift you up and love you and see you do well, and that the person next to you is just as lost as you are. Sometimes maybe we think that they're doing better because they have a smile on their face or they're working on projects, but the truth is that everybody is lost just trying to find their way. And I see forgiveness as the ultimate law of nature, of life, because no matter what you have done, what you have been through, what you've put people through, you are always given the gift of forgiveness. And whether you believe in karma or don't, the beautiful thing about forgiveness is it actually trumps karma, because karma is something that is given, and if you do something that you see as a quote-unquote mistake, well then people will say you're going to get your karma. And while I do think that it's true that your conscious sort of brings you back to a place where you have to deal with the decisions you have made in the past, I do believe that once you have sat with them and felt true remorse and shame and regret, which I think there's a beautiful art to, you are granted with forgiveness. That's the next step. So as long as you look at your life and you acknowledge the quote-unquote mistakes that you have made, then you can be granted with this beautiful gift of forgiveness. And the truth is that you are always forgiven. But the moment that you forgive yourself, that's when you actually truly experience the forgiveness. And the reason why I say quote-unquote mistake instead of mistake is because I believe whatever decision it is that you made in your past, it was ultimately the right decision because it has led you here to where you are today. And where you are today is beautiful because as long as you are breathing and you're here with us, then it's never too late for you. It's never too late to review your life, review all of the decisions that you've made, and grow and change. And many times, even though you look on a decision, you think, I can't believe that I did that. If only I had done this little tiny thing differently, or if only I had done all of these things differently, if only I had stayed with this partner, or if I had not quit this job, or if I had not paid for this certain thing, whatever it may be, it can be a million things. Later in life, you have no idea how that decision is going to lead you to exactly where you are today. So where you are today, you would not exist if you had not made that decision. And if multiple realities and dimensions are true, which I think that they are, I think that there are multiple dimensions, then this dimension that you are in, the choices that you made have led you here. And so you have to be thankful for your choices, because without them, you wouldn't be here. And the beautiful thing about being here, even though you may not feel it, is that you can change. And the lower that you are, the higher that you can go, the more distance there is between your rock bottom and your highest point. So think about all of the beauty that comes in that journey, in that distance. And once you get to a place of stability and growth and understanding and learnings from all that you grew and the difference between where you are in this stable place from this other dimension, this other person who was living in a different reality, making different decisions, all that you have grown, you can now share that wisdom. Similar to what I'm doing here. 3 years ago, I would not even have imagined that I would go through what I went through, and I would know now what I know and be able to share it in this way. I've always wanted to start a podcast, and that's what's silly. I've always had the dreams of what my reality is now, but I had no idea that they were going to come to me in this way. No idea. And if I hadn't made every single decision that I made, painful or not, then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have gotten all of my blessings. And what's silly is that there was a point where I thought I was never going to come back from it. And I would look around at the people around me and think, I'm the only one that's living in this pit of despair. And I'm the only one who has no purpose and no direction and feels lost and has nothing to work towards. And now I look around and I see we're all lost. My neighbor is lost. The person watching me through a screen is lost. The person I'm watching through a screen is lost. We're all finding our way throughout life. And for those that say that they are completely found, well, I say to that, don't believe it and don't distance yourself from them, because we're all just humans. We're all just spiritual beings living this very human experience, which is filled with pain and discomfort and shame and guilt, and also beauty and bliss and peace and laughter and joy. It's all encompassing. That's what it is to be a human. And God didn't place us here to be filled with shame all the time. God placed us here so that we could experience everything. So that we could cry, so that we could laugh, so that we could scream, so that we could smile, so that we could feel, so that we could love. And the more that you feel the lows, the more that you can feel it all. And the more that you experience the lows, especially within yourself, the more that your heart expands and you can forgive and love others. I think it's true that you can only love as far as you love yourself. And for me at least, I'm a kind person. I've always been kind. And at the same time, I've also been incredibly unkind. And it wasn't intentional. My intentions were always good. My intentions were not to completely disregard my well-being and in turn disregard the well-being of others, not being a good friend to myself and in turn not being a good friend to my friends, not being a good person, then not being able to be a good daughter, a good sister, a good person. And of course, good, bad. I'm not here to philosophize on what is good and what is bad, but I am here to tell you that every single one of us is going to go through our dark night and our rock bottom. And maybe we have multiple of these. I definitely have a few, one being the most intense. And it's taken its time, but now I finally believe what everyone told me, which was it needed to happen. I'm able to have real conversations now and be fully present and be a better friend, be a better daughter, be a better sister. And that doesn't mean that I'm not still making decisions, which I will then look back on and say, I'm not going to make that decision again. because I'm still growing. I'm no perfect human being. And that's the whole point. You're not perfect. Nobody expects you to be perfect. People just want you to love yourself and to grow and to worry about healing yourself and growing yourself and focusing on yourself and loving yourself, whether it's through therapy, whether it's going outside and touching grass, journaling, letting the sun hit your face, whatever it is. That's what people want. That's what everyone wants. That's what you want. So instead of running around, grasping at straws, trying to get forgiven or run away from the mistakes that you've made, sit in the discomfort. Assess your life. Think, okay, I deserve to feel shame right now. It's a beautiful part of life too, to feel the shame. I think we villainize shame because yes, it's definitely a demon and we don't want to be arm in arm with shame all our entire lives, but shame must be acknowledged. And if we are arm in arm with shame, then the only way to unlink is acknowledging that they're there, sitting with them, and then saying, okay, I forgive myself now. I understand that you're here. I send you love and attention, and I also say, I don't need you anymore. I don't need you so close to me. And in that, you turn around and you say, I want to be forgiven. I am forgiven. And then you start walking on that path. But you can't walk this path when you're arm in arm with shame. And you also can't walk this path if you're arm in arm with shame and you don't want to acknowledge it. And the truth is that if you've done things for which you feel shame, for which you feel regret, you've hurt yourself, you've hurt others, well, you can't unlink without acknowledging them first and letting go. It has to be acknowledged. And then forgiveness comes. And sometimes it comes by just taking those baby steps and realizing, oh, all of these people around me, they're not perfect. They're not found. They're just like me. And most people are good people and they want to walk the path with you. They want to be there for you. They want to be there for you, and then you can be there for them. You can finally open your eyes and see, oh, this person isn't completely found, and they're not here for me because, oh, they feel pity on me. No pity. It's that they see you because they felt it themselves. And that's the beautiful thing about most people. It's that most people are kind, just like you. And the way to be kind unto others is to first be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to be held, loved, taken care of. Focus on you and stop running and grasping at straws. You don't need a million activities, friends, passions, anything. You don't need a million of those. Start small. Start with those baby steps. Acknowledge the ties that you already have and love them. And then take steps moving forward. Once again, you are always forgiven, and whatever decisions you've made up until this point, I forgive you, they forgive you, God forgives you. We're just waiting on you to forgive you. It was all made exactly the way that it needed to be made. And now all you can do and all you should do is acknowledge the decisions, grow from them, love, and then love others. Okay, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. I am posting on Spotify and YouTube for now until I figure out how to get it on all the other platforms. This is The Lost and Found, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.